12 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. And our conversation for IRMC Nurses Week, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Vickie Paouncic, Beth Pinkerton with us this morning. Morning to both of you.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's good to have you both with us. So big deal here. It is Nurses Week, not only at IRMC, but it's Nurses Week overall, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about what's happening at IRMC to celebrate, because I know that you have some things planned.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're part of the professional development department, which is the nurse educators, otherwise known as, and we've been planning to celebrate our nurses at IRMC because they are so wonderful. So we've been working, making some exciting plans. This morning we're doing popcorn and cotton candy. The theme this year for IRMC is carnival theme. We're celebrating like a carnival. And so we're doing popcorn and cotton candy today.
Yeah, and then tomorrow we have gifts for all the nurses that we'll be distributing. Wednesday will be our, we're doing a spin the wheel. We have different gifts, little trinkets that will be on every unit, and it's a prize wheel actually will be taken around. So just something fun like that. We also have a break room judging contest. We gave them kind of each unit starter packets for the carnival theme. So they started decorating their break room, and the judges will come around on Wednesday to then judge each nursing unit to see who has the best decorated break room. And there'll be prizes awarded for that on Friday, is my understanding.
I think we ought to do speed contests as well. How quick you can start an IV and things like that. That's probably not the best idea.
Beth would win that one.
Are you going to volunteer your veins?
I have hard veins to find. So Beth would win it, you say?
She would. She was a IV team nurse previously before taking this position. So yes, she's had many years of experience. So she would be the one to win that contest.
She can find that pretty quick. Hey, seriously though, talking about nurses and Nurses Week, it used to be we would say she's an RN or she's an LPN, and that would encompass pretty much everything. There's so many more designations now because it is such a refined and specialized craft, isn't it?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We still have the RNs and the LPNs as the overall licensure, but then there are a lot of specializations under that umbrella. So, as an RN, there are so many different roles that you can have. We have patient care nurses that are direct patient care nurses that have special classes that can read the monitor and take care of a patient that's on a heart monitor. We have ones that know how to take care of a mom who's laboring. We have ones that are specialized in the emergency department, and every different department has its own special set of skills, and it takes a lot to learn and to be an expert in each area.
Yeah. You have that basic foundation, which enables you to really work in any of the various aspects. But just like many other professions, you can specialize it down and really hone in on something. And focus, and it becomes a career turn, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I've done a little bit of everything in my career. I know Beth has too. We've worked on various units throughout the hospital and other places as well. And so if you need ever a change, there's always something else within the profession you'd be able to, find your interest in. So.
Yeah, and that is interesting to me as well, because we've had a lot of folks who have come in from IRMC who pursue different specialties, and you ask them, well, why did you want to focus upon this? And it's just something that seemed to be in their wheelhouse. It was something that they said, I took a rotation here and I really, really liked it, and I decided this is what I'm really interested in doing. And it becomes such a tremendous benefit to the hospital itself, doesn't it?
Our hospital has a lot of excellent nurses. It's from the ER the whole way up to the 7th floor. We are very lucky with the nurses that we have. We could always use more, and that's the great thing about being a nurse is that it's like many jobs rolled into one. You become a registered nurse or a licensed practical nurse, and you can, the amount of different jobs that you can do is limitless. So you're really never going to be bored, that's for sure. If you try something and you do it for 3 years, like for myself, I personally have worked at IRMC for, it'll be 29 years in August, but I started as a float nurse. I worked on all the different departments, and then I went to the fourth floor, which is the post-op floor, and worked there for 5 years. And then I went to OB and worked there for 10 years. And then I went to the IV team. So you can do totally different jobs, but you're still the nurse, you're still working for IRMC, and you become skilled at whatever that job that you choose to do is.
And there are some basics that really translate to everything, and that's the level of care, the concern for your patients, and that's one of the things I find in the hospital setting that is most interesting to me is that it's almost like you've been adopted by your nurse. If you're going into the hospital and you're going to spend a few days there, that team, you really become invested as a nurse in the patient, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yes, you do. You do. I mean, you establish relationships from the time you walk in the door. And like you say, you kind of just take that patient under your wing and you're there to help them, through every aspect of that day. And, sometimes it is emotional support. Sometimes it's, doing physical things for them. So, yeah, you just want to be everything you can be to that person on that shift. And, the biggest thing is I think you want to make a difference in their life. And, I think our hospital definitely has a group of nurses that do that every day.
And it's not just the patient; it's the patient's family. That you also have to develop that relationship too, because they don't understand what's going on. You're the pro. You understand what's happening here. You sort of have an idea of where this is going to lead, and you have certainly a great deal invested in the outcome. And the family understands that, but to guide them through that whole process, Beth, that's a pretty special role that you have to play.
It is. That's almost everybody that I know that has chosen to become a nurse is because they want to take care of people. They want to make people better. They want to be there for people. And the biggest role in being a nurse is being the patient advocate, because a lot of times healthcare it's a crazy road to travel. There's, a lot of things that happen that you're not sure exactly what is happening to you as the patient. And so the nurse is there to be the cushion or the communicator between you and the doctor so that you understand what's going on and they understand what's going on. And it's always our job to take care of the patient, to make sure that that patient has the best care that they can get.
When we talk about nursing at IRMC, how big of a staff are we thinking of?
Nursing?
Didn't know I was going to throw math
No.
at you, did you?
Well, it changes a lot because, we've had, through the pandemic, there's been a lot of transition, and so our staff numbers have changed a lot. I believe that our RN staff is around 300, and when we include our LPNs and our nursing assistants and our ED techs and all the other different roles that are considered nursing, I feel like there's about around 400 and plus or minus some.
Yeah, yeah. And you were mentioning the fact that you could always use more. The educational requirements to be a nurse require a ton of dedication before you ever get there into the hospital setting, don't they?
Yes, so it varies. You can obtain an associate degree with 2 years of school, and there are a few places out there that offer that. Or you can go your 4-year program, your bachelor's degree from a university. Some people have gotten their associates and then went to school, and I think there's some online programs that you can actually get your BS in. Some people then go ahead and get their master's in various avenues of nursing. And then, yes, of course, the doctorate's available as well. Some nurses end up going to be a nurse practitioner. That's another avenue. Some of our nurses have went back to school and obtained their CRNA, so they work as a nurse anesthetist. So, yeah, there's various ways of obtaining your nursing degree.
I think it is also interesting to watch nurses and how you work as a team, because it is a requirement, obviously,
Yes.
that whole team concept, not just handing off to the next shift, but within each unit that is working together on a given day. knowing your roles and knowing what has to be done in order, calling upon all of that information, and being able to bounce things off of this nurse or that nurse, and obviously off of the doctors as well. That's a tremendous advantage when you're working together as a group, isn't it?
Absolutely. Teamwork is extremely important. And, that's, everybody works together. We always want to celebrate all nurses as well as our nursing assistants, as well as anybody, our secretaries, the whole departments work as a team. And that's the exciting part of being a nurse, that, you can rely on your coworkers. And let me tell you something, all nurses are problem solvers. that goes with the game. You can't be a good nurse if you're not a good problem solver.
You're not called upon to carry duct tape as part of your normal routine, but sometimes it doesn't hurt to have some, huh?
No, it's medical tape, and it works the same.
Same thing. Well, that's good to know.
Most nurses have a roll of tape in their pocket and probably some in their car because they took it home with them and emptied their pockets in the car.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, and I've seen a lot of nurses in action here in this last year, just the skills, the physical hand, the dexterity of the hands in order to do this and that while you're putting this thing up under here and this thing over here, and it really is amazing to see. And you guys would make great magicians, and you probably sometimes feel like you have to be a magician to make this all work, don't you?
We learn to adapt. And that's what Beth always says. How resourceful are we? That's true. Like we do. And even being on the professional development team here, the four of us, if one of us can't think of something, the other one will. Like we all, pitch in and we find ways of making it all happen.
Yeah.
And I think it comes from years of experience.
It is a celebration of Nurses Week at IRMC, and those of you who have occasion this week to visit with a nurse, be sure to thank them for what they do, because I know that you are very thankful for all of your colleagues, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, tremendous.
We have the best nurses at IRMC.
We do.
Hey, thank you so much for coming in to visit with us.
You're welcome.
To tell
Thank you
us
for
all
having
about
us.
it.
Yes.
It is our pleasure, and we're grateful that you're there. And there every day. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. And coming up next, Boomer has CBS Sports. Jake is in the newsroom, and he'll come by in just a couple of moments as well. In our next half hour here on Indiana in the Morning, let me move this big thing out of the way. Nancy Smith is going to be coming in to visit with us. So we'll talk about the St. Vincent de Paul Society. It's 8:25. It's Indiana in the Morning on WCCS.